This is Rory, live from London studio. Former parliamentary speaker Andrei Parubi was shot dead in the western city of Lviv on Saturday, President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed. The Prosecutor General's office said a gunman fired several shots at Parubi, killing him on the spot before fleeing. A manhunt has been launched. Parubi, 54, was a Member of Parliament and served as Speaker from April 2016 to August 2019. He was also one of the leaders of the 2013-14 protests calling for closer ties with the European Union. Officials gave no immediate indication of whether the murder was connected to Russia's war in Ukraine. In 2014, Parubi briefly served as Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defence Council during the start of fighting in eastern Ukraine and Russia's annexation of Crimea. Minister of Internal Affairs Ihor Klemenko and Prosecutor General Ruslan Kravchenko have just reported on the first known circumstances of a horrific murder in Lviv. Andrei Parubi has been killed, Zelensky wrote on X. He extended condolences to Parubi's family and stressed, all necessary forces and means are engaged in the investigation and search for the killer. National Police said the shooting in Lviv was reported around noon. Lviv Mayor Andriy Sadavoyi added, finding the killer and establishing the circumstances of the attack is of utmost importance. This is a matter of security in a country at war, where, as we can see, there are no completely safe places. The humanitarian steeped in dark and cruel emergency in Darfur has boiled over with civilians in Al-Fashir, which has been completely surrounded by the RSF, cut off from food and now eating animal feed. The RSF, a large paramilitary element, has besieged Al-Fashir for almost a year and a half, cutting off trade routes and preventing aid convoys from entering the city, which has hundreds of thousands of inhabitants. The United Nations has now warned that the situation is deteriorating quickly and could turn into a famine. According to different UN agencies, the population in Al-Fashir has no access to basic supplies. A family may eat livestock fodder because they can't reach food supplies. Today, we have children whose malnutrition is rising. Al-Fashir is the last of the big cities in the Darfur region under Sudanese government control, and therefore an important contested area in the civil war in Sudan. The siege of Al-Fashir by the RSF is part of a growing war in Sudan involving the army and Sudan and huge paramilitary elements since the hostilities began in April 2023, displacing millions and creating one of the biggest humanitarian disasters in the world. Repeatedly, humanitarian organisations have asked for unrestricted access to deliver food, medicine and potable water. Although fighting, intentional blockades and targeting of aid workers have hindered humanitarian efforts, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has asked both sides of the conflict to allow immediate access to humanitarian corridors, warning, in the absence of a concerted effort, thousands could starve in the coming weeks. The situation is indicative of the more widespread failure of Sudan's economy and food systems. Farmers have not been able to produce because of violence, and rising prices have made basic necessities unavailable to middle-class families. International organisations and agencies have termed the crisis a man-made famine based on the war and denial of assistance. A Gilgit-Baltistan government helicopter crashed in Chile's Thor area of Damar district on Monday, killing all 5 people on board, officials confirmed. GB government spokesperson Faizullah Farrak said the helicopter carrying 2 pilots and 3 technical staff went down during a test landing on a newly proposed helipad. Diama SSP Abdul Hamid reported 5 times casualties from the incident. Rescue teams and local police quickly reached the site and began evacuation efforts, while the SSP stated that the cause of the crash is under investigation. The GB spokesperson pointed to a technical failure as the likely reason. The tragedy has shocked the mountainous region, where air operations are often critical due to difficult terrain, but remain vulnerable to weather and technical challenges. Keep watching Ocean News.